Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out later. I just hooked these earphones up to the Bluetooth on my laptop, and I know how to do it. Duh! Volume, volume, volume. Where is it? That's not it. Yeah, there it is.
Light bulb go off in your head. Really,
Smart ass. All right, talk again. Huh? That's the wrong one. Do it again. Now I've lost you all of it, all sound. Crap. Well, crapola. Oh, all right. Say something now. I can't hear you. Hang on. Let me take these out. All right. Let's try it here. Uh, all right. Now I should be able to hear you. But no. All right. Let's bring this one out. Say something now. Not.
nice.
All right. I got more to figure out. Right. Can you hear me?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That usually is. You're usually the problem.
You number one, boss. So when is your test?
Past the first part. There's 3 parts.
Oh, you passed the first part? When's the yeah, like I had any doubt. Right? Now I can't. All right, I can't hear you at all. I cannot hear a word. Let me go out and come back in. Something ain't right.
Take this. It could be.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you perfectly now. It was you. See, I'm not always the problem. I can't see you though.
Yeah, you can't see me. 1 second. There we go.
There you go. Yep, and I can hear you in my earphone now. So what? You're right. It was you. See, I'm not always the problem.
Here.
Uh, so
I want to talk about. I want to talk about your get away from the house, but I think to get there, we need to talk about exactly when Bill went to jail.
right. That was in Oroville. He went to jail in Oroville. That would have been either just before I turned 14 or right after, I believe. You keep going in and out.
I got to get rid of these.
Ah, God, I look old. Ah, yeah, you bastards. Ah,
Sorry, Vicky. I'm finding the pair that works.
honey,
My
don't worry about it. I'm
my
not
wife
going
my wife
anywhere.
my wife steals all my stuff. I I did not. This is all cool. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
Oh, these are my.
Not.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Vicky? The first pair I pulled out of her car were mine. Okay. And I know
I'm
that.
sorry.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
All right. I think I'm gonna plug these in because they're only half working. So we'll talk without them. All right. Can you hear me without them?
yes, I can hear you fine. That's why I went ahead and got these earphones because I can hear better with them. Um, and by the way, look at this. Can
What's
you
that?
see it?
Lift it up. What is that?
That is, it's Foycoy, Foycoy. I swear by them. I got they're not nine ninety nine, I think, on Amazon, and they're
Yeah.
the earphones that I use. Um, and I mean, they are like the Energizer Bunny. They just keep going and going. And
Yeah.
for $10, no kidding.
All right. Okay. So, all right. Here's the issue I'm having with your timeline here when you turn 14 because you got a
Uh,
lot of stuff going down at 14.
yes,
You left home at 14.
right.
You got Bill Parks going to jail at 14.
Yep,
You have a lot of your hitchhiking going on at 14.
yep.
So I'm just trying to figure out exactly what started where and how that timeline goes. Did you start hitchhiking before 14?
Oh yeah, I had been hitchhiking since I was 11 or 12.
Okay, so Bill was still in the house when you started to hitchhike.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so do you remember your first time leaving home hitchhiking? That would seem like a big deal.
I mean, it was probably me.
We don't need to do it probably. It's like, what's the first big memory you have hitchhiking? Because I'm sure it had to have
I
been
went
scary.
I hitchhiked from the Dalles. I believe it was from the Dalles. No. Yeah, a lot of shit happened that year. That's when I, I know that the first time I hitchhiked was in Oroville, or the main time that I can remember hitchhiking for the first time was in Oroville. I went on a spur, and the cops picked. Wait a minute, hang on. I'm confusing two memories now. I'm trying to compact two memories, and they're not right. That's not right. Now you're gonna have me thinking.
All right. Well, let's leave that there. You said you had two really good hitchhiking stories. So I can
I,
pose it as you started hitchhiking around the age of 11 or 12. I don't have to exactly
right,
put a qualifier on it as to what was
okay,
your first time or what, but we can go in. Let's start with you said you had two really good hitchhiking stories.
I the one this one is the one that stands out so much in my mind, and I think I was probably 12 at the time, and I literally had the quote unquote hippie VW bus pull over, and it was full of a bunch of hippies, and and that couldn't be the first time.
Doesn't matter
Couldn't
if
be
it's
the
the first time. Let's finish the story and then we'll go into.
All right. Well, anyway, all I had on, everything that I owned, I had on, which was a pair of shorts, a half top, and a pair of sandals. And they picked me up, took me to their house, fed me, gave me clothes, all that. And then I walked in the bathroom, and this is something I'll never forget. I'll carry it to my grave. There was this girl, there was this black girl, and she was sitting in front of the toilet, and she had a needle, a hypodermic needle in her hand. And as she was getting ready to nod out on the toilet, I know that now, I didn't know what it was then. She looked at me and she said, "Don't ever stick a needle in your arm." And that stuck with me, as you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's the major one. Now, the
How did
other
you
one,
get to the house? Do you remember?
huh?
How long were you there?
A couple days at most.
Anything else interesting happen while you were there?
Not that I can remember right now.
And how did you get back home from there? Do you remember?
No. And as soon as I do, I'll let you know. Hang on. Let me get something out. All right.
Oh, Patty and Judy called me. Okay.
Oh, really? What did they have to say?
Well, she was just called me to tell me how much she loved her picture, and she was signing all the copies for me.
Yes. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah, that'll open up. I'm sure I'll be able to interview her and stuff for this. So.
Well, I've been working on something too with Judy, and I need to ask Judy. if Leilani still has her coat, Judy still got her fur coat from the Glamour Girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And somebody brought it to my attention that they're showing up as Judy Martin and Leilani Kai. They're
Mm-hmm.
not showing up as the Glamour Girls, which is who everybody remembers them the most by.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to talk to Judy, find out if Leilani's got hers, because I think that'll make them money in the long. It'll make them more money in the long run to go to these signings as the Glamour Girls.
Now, they got fired by the WWE twice. Is that accurate?
They got fired.
Like, yeah, let go. This was something Scotty said, so I'm just curious if it's true.
I don't think they ever got fired.
They just
But
phased out, maybe.
yeah, they just phased them out.
Yeah.
Um, and actually, I think Judy by choice left wrestling and became a sheriff
Oh.
for many years. Um, because after the incident, where Moolah called him in Japan and told him to drop the belts to the jumping bomb angels. Do you know that story?
I've heard it, but we can talk about that another time.
Right.
I want
All
to
right.
keep going with you, because that Patriots play at 1, and I never miss
Yeah.
Patriots. So
Okay. What time is it?
we have some time. So all right. So
I can't. I wrote myself a message about how did I leave the house with the girl with a needle in her arm,
yeah.
because there's just that's where the memory just goes, and it goes to black. The other one, I had met up with Joe Simmons. They called him TJ because he drank TJ Swan.
How did you meet him? Oh, you've told me this story before, but how did you meet him?
That's another dark spot. Let me write it down.
And what the fuck is TJ Swan? I gotta look that up.
Right gut, just like MD 2020.
TJ Swan. TJ Swan. There's a
His real name was Joe Simmons.
Oh, it was wine.
Yeah, it's a wine. It was.
Oh, it's similar to that. We had Boone's Farm up here. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right in line. Yeah, my favorite Boone's Farm was strawberry.
That's what my mom used to drink. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
it's right in there between Boone's Farm and MD 2020.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
the other thing, actually, I got three good stories.
All right. Well, let's finish this one. So you meet up with him, and you don't remember where you met. You guys start hitchhiking. From where? Where did you guys start? Do you remember?
No,
You weren't in. Were you in California, Oregon? You don't remember?
I can't remember where I met him or how I met him. I've got the note written down.
Mm-hmm. So you don't know where you started hitchhiking from.
I'm trying to. I think.
But he was what they called a backpack biker because he
A sidewalk biker.
sidewalk biker. Okay.
Yeah, because he dressed like a biker, but he didn't have a bike.
Okay, so
and probably never owned one.
you guys just hitchhiked.
We hitchhiked all the way from. I met him at the wall.
You met him
I
at
met him at the wall in Portland.
So this was after you ran away, or like, or you just went up to Port? You went to the wall several times before you went to live
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
met him at the wall,
That would.
in Portland. Were you guys romantically involved?
Yes.
Yeah. How old was
Yes.
approximately? Was he a lot older than you, or?
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. He was in his 20 somethings.
All right, it's not too much older. Is it?
I would say he was. God, even remembering his face. He tried to kill me.
There's a story. Let's hear it.
After I had quit hitchhiking and I was staying at with Sylvia in Dallasport, um, okay, this ties in now. I had to have met him in the Dalles. I had to have because he knew where I lived. I met him in Wishram. I was staying with my grandparents. I was going to the school. The school was literally almost a one. It was it was an all-in-one school. It was kindergarten to high school, and to let you know how small the town was, I was the only girl in the math class, and there was a total of four of us, three guys and me. And somehow I met TJ in Wishram because my grandfather almost killed him because TJ was so much older than I was, and he had told him to leave me alone. And that was the one time that I ran away from my grandparents' house because I thought I was in love. And then we started hitchhiking from there.
So this ties
When
directly into the chapter I'm writing. So this is perfect. So you had to have been younger than 14 when this occurred.
right,
So you're like,
right,
all right, this is one of the early ones. Okay, so you meet him and you guys start hitchhiking from your grandparents out towards
right,
join the carnival.
yeah.
Okay. What
And then
what were you gonna do in the carnival?
TJ used to work on the machines and run the machines. You know, I was going to be the, lower level.
Bearded lady.
Probably, probably sweeping floors, cooking, and all that crap. And what did you say?
I said the bearded lady. Yeah.
You number one. We
So
never made it, so I don't know. I mean, I'm getting arrested or not really arrested, but arrested by this cop, and I can see the carnival.
mhm.
And I was with TJ then, and TJ, I don't even know what happened to him. He disappeared.
Did they arrest
Um,
him or did he just run?
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. Um, but I got back and I was staying at Sylvia's in Dallasport, and that's when I ended up in the hospital for several weeks because I had a tipped uterus,
Yep.
and I
That
was I was basically nothing but one great big infection. That I had to bacteria all through my body, poison.
But all right, was this because of the trip cross country with him?
No, it was damage due to Bill.
All right, and you said Bill got you pregnant at one point, though, right?
Yes, yes.
And that this wasn't.
Now this was that's a hard one. That's a real hard one.
Was
Um,
that later?
that was later.
Okay, we'll get into that in a different issue.
Okay.
Let's keep this
All right.
on topic. You said
All
that
right.
Joe or the backpack by the sidewalk biker tried to kill you. So you're back in Dallasport.
Right. I'm back in Dallasport with Sylvia, and I go, and somebody knocks at the door, and I open the door, and here's TJ.
Mm-hmm.
And he was there. Somehow he got a hold of Sylvia. Now, who the hell in half their right mind tells this 20, 21? I know he was older than 21. He had a full beard and mustache. I know he was over 21 because I don't know why I knew it, but he did time in Seattle in the local jail, and I can't remember what it was for. But I answer the door, get back on track. I answer the door, and here stands TJ. And I mean, if I could have crawled into my own pocket, I would have. He was the last person I wanted to see. Well, come to find out, Sylvia had already talked to the landlord of this. It was half a trailer park and with houses here and there. And Sylvia had gotten him the trailer behind the house. And I had told him somehow I don't know if I was brave or stupid or a little bit of both, but in the next couple of days I told him I don't want to date you anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. And he played it so well. He says, I understand. Let's go over to my place. We'll have a drink and we'll just be friends. Well, when I got there, he slapped a pair of handcuffs on me on one arm, put the other handcuff on the bed, turned on the gas on the gas stove, the electric stove, which was probably 5 foot away, and kept flicking his lighter. And somehow I got away from him. I don't know how it was, but somehow I got away from him. I don't know. I can't remember if it was Sylvia heard me screaming or somebody else heard me screaming. Because as you can imagine, you're laying 5 foot away from a gas stove and you got an idiot flicking his lighter. And there's gas, and I could smell the gas. And I started screaming, and he, of course, tried to cover my mouth and all that. I think I bit him, if I'm not mistaken. And somebody, I don't know who it was, because that's a dark spot, which it'll come up, got me out of the trailer, and then I didn't see TJ again until I was living with a truck driver in Portland, and he had taken me to the fair in downtown Portland, and I got off one of the rides, and this is the weirdest thing I've ever had. Well, not the weirdest thing, but we're coming to a stop, where you get off the ride, and I look up, and it's TJ's looking right down into my face. And I jumped up, I grabbed Jim's hand, the trucker that I was staying with. I grabbed his hand. I said, "Tell him we're married. Just tell him we're married." And that was the last time I ever saw TJ because Jim did tell him she's married to me now.
Now, how old were you when you were staying with this trucker in Portland?
That was in amongst the 13 to 14, you know,
That was
area.
another runaway
Yeah.
situation.
Uh, yeah. Yeah, because I was living with Jim in an apartment building in Portland. And um, that ended with
How
him.
how did that start? You just went up to Portland, or he picked?
Oh, no, no, no. I'd known him before. I used to wait tables at the in oh, what is it called?
Denny's. It was
Nope,
like it
nope.
was like
This was not a franchise. Denty's, DINTY''S. I worked there, and that was in, oh, where was that at? Right across the bridge from Marysville, Washington. I can't remember the name of the town right now, and I should. Um, and I met I met Jim, Larry, Gary, and Kid Knudsen there. Ken Knudsen there. Um, they were what you called regulars when you were waiting tables.
Mm-hmm.
I had been waiting tables at the Copper Kettle in the Dows.
You still living with
And,
Sylvia at this point?
yes,
Yeah.
and Joe's still there.
Yep.
This was before he tried to kill me
Joe. Oh,
because
Joe tried
Joe was,
to.
huh?
Joe tried to kill you too, or are you talking TJ?
TJ and Joe are the same person.
Oh,
Joe
so
Simmons, TJ was his nickname.
what's the name of the truck driver that you were living with, Jim?
Jim, 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 I cannot remember. I've been trying to remember his name
We
for a
don't.
year now.
It's not necessary. We just can call him trucker named Jim.
Right. Well, I was waiting tables at the Copper Kettle, and that's where the truckers were stopping. And I had my own CB radio and all that crap. Um, and I was living in a one-room studio in the Dows, directly across from the police station. And like I said, this is when Sylvia had made the deal. You know, it didn't matter where I was,
You
as long as I was at her house. If they ever came to do a check to see how many kids were there, if welfare ever did a check, I had to be at the house.
Yeah.
And so at that time, I was telling everybody I was 16, and
Yeah.
she, of course, wrote me the note. And let's see, Jim. Damn, I can remember everybody else's name.
That's not important. So why did you move in with him? This was
Uh,
and
to get away from Sylvia.
you're already living in an apartment away from Sylvia, you said.
Yeah.
Was it just to save the money on the rent of that room, or?
Well, what happened is, hang on, because I'm going through the damn memory bank right now. we ended up getting kicked out of the apartment, and by we, I say it was me, Connie, Ed, me, Connie, no, me, Ed, can't remember his brother's name, and Sandy were living in the studio apartment.
Were these just friends of yours that worked with you, or?
Yeah, no, they didn't work with me. They didn't work. I was the only one working.
Okay.
Um, and as usual, um, we had one that I can't remember what they call them, but those beds that fold down out of the wall.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I had that for a bed, and then there was a walk-in closet that was used as a bed, and I slept in the tub because it was a great big old 12-foot tub. And or I'd sleep in the beanbag in the front room as long as Connie and Ed weren't going at it. And then ended up getting evicted, and that's when I went to Portland, and I had worked that night. I was still at the Copper Kettle then. I've got it backwards. I started working at Denny's, and then I went to Copper Kettle.
Okay.
Yeah. And then me and the manager at the Copper Kettle basically got in a verbal argument uh, because when I left Denty's restaurant and went to the Copper Kettle, the truckers followed me.
Can you have a nonverbal argument? I'm just curious. I had to ask you.
Yes, you can actually.
Okay.
It's all in the look. It's all in the face.
It's,
I can say "fuck you" in a heartbeat and not open my mouth.
you have the
Smart ass.
you have the shine, the Stephen King shine. You can have a nonverbal argument.
I didn't mean that like nonverbal.
I'm
It was
teasing. All
it,
right. So you
no,
left with the truckers after the argument.
right. And I went to Denny's after that, and the truckers followed me there. And I mean, these were four guys, and then we had ETMF, which was that was another. Everybody drove for a certain company. Like Ken drove for UPS. Um, Jim worked for I can't remember. Anyway, we had, and then Larry and Gary worked for ETMF. When I went to the Copper Kettle, when I was working at the Copper Kettle, I got in a fight with the manager, and um, oh shit, I'm confusing things in my head
Okay, we
because
don't.
timeline doesn't make sense right there.
Let's
I
hold.
can't remember if it was Denny's that I worked at first or if it was Copper Kettle I
Okay,
worked at first.
write this down, and we'll some of this is gonna have to stay, some of this is gonna have to go anyway. But make a note. So in this timeline, when you make the deal with Sylvia, is
Right.
still in the house.
No, Bill was in jail.
So you had to have been younger than 14 when he went to jail. Because at 14, you left the house for good, is what you said. Do you know what year Bill went to jail?
No,
This is where Doug would help, but he will not.
he's not going to.
Maybe I'll message him and say, is there any way you could give me a year?
Uh, Can't Sue find out when Bill went to jail?
I'm having a hard time with that. I'm trying to figure that out. I got an attorney working on that.
Okay. Oh, that's right. We're waiting on the permission slips there
I don't think he
because
says he doesn't think he's going to need that. Right now he's messaging the attorney general's office somewhere in California to get permission to look into it.
okay. Damn.
Yeah.
I better not screw you over. I'll be in big trouble. All the contacts you got.
Yeah. I'll try shooting Doug a message, but I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it's
He's
something. Maybe you could ask Doug. Be like, "Hey, Doug, what year did Bill go to jail?"
no, he won't answer the phone. I can tell you that right now. He
Shoot him.
will not
Don't call him.
because
Shoot him a text message.
I'll have to find his number. I blocked him.
I've
Or
got.
did I?
You
All
gave.
right. I gave it to well, if I gave it to you, then I've got it.
Yeah.
Um
Anyway, all right.
I'm sitting here, I'm trying to figure out.
So you made the deal with Sylvia. You had to been over 14 because you had told me that was the deal when you went to the wall.
Right. That was the deal, period. From the time I got that first place.
So it was from the time when you left the house that last time when Sylvia woke you up and was smacking you around, and
That was in Salem. That
you
was in Salem,
put her in
Oregon.
that finger hold and all that.
Right.
From
That was in Salem, Oregon.
from that point on, you didn't go straight to the wall. This stuff happened in between.
I think that's when I got a hold of Jim, but I won't swear to it because right now I'm even trying to figure out, how I ended up at Jim's.
Okay, so let's circle back. You have a note written down. You need to get the timeline straight on this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, got it right.
You started hitching. Bill was still in the house. Like, so
Right.
when the officers put up that collection, send you back home, Bill was still in the house from Florida, or no? Because I need to know whether I write.
No, Bill went to jail in Oroville.
So I need to write the chapter on Doug and the end of Bill
Right. That wasn't.
right now.
There's no doubt in my mind. Bill went to jail in Oroville.
See, I'm thinking you were around 12-ish. Well, you said you were of the age of consent when he went.
That's what I remember. Is the reason that they did not charge him with me is because at the age of 14 is when is the age at that time was the age of consent in California. And they had asked
You had
me
to been
once.
started doing this hitchhiking across the country and stuff like that. You had to have been older. You had to have. It doesn't make any sense in any other way.
I did so much there right before I left her house, where I never went back.
But it all
Uh,
started with Bill going to jail, and you had to have been 14 at that time.
no, it did. It did. I had ran a. I got to get this straight in my head.
This is where I got to make this right, so I just got to make sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Doug can't put a stop to me getting the information
Right.
on Parks because he isn't. the kid, his child. So I can only.
in any way, shape, or form. Scott was his child, but Scott's dead. Jennifer is Bill's name is on her birth certificate, but if she's got no Indian in her, there's no way Bill is her father.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we'll wrap up the. All right. So I guess I have to write the chapter about the end of Bill and then go into you with the hitchhiking. I mean, that's how the timeline looks like it's laying out.
Well, see, I
And you told me the story about this guy who was living, and then he went to the house and he seen Doug. Was he there when he was there when Doug came running out of the back room? Was he there?
no, you're talking about Don Maddox.
Yeah, he wasn't there when that happened.
No,
Yep.
he was there after that happened,
So Sylvia seemed
and
you moved him up to the upstairs bedroom and slept with you kids downstairs. That's how that happened.
right, and Don had stopped by, and see, we knew Don in Needles.
Mm-hmm.
Don's dad, because Don, if I'm not mistaken, Don Maddox is a junior, and his dad was the when we lived in Needles, his dad was the sheriff or the captain of police in Needles. And for some reason, and I can't remember why, but we moved to Oroville and then Don moved to Oroville, or it could have been the other way around. But I'm pretty sure it was we were there first. And I had already ran away from home the one time, and that was before Bill went to jail.
Is that the one time where the hippies picked you up? I just sent Doug a message. We'll see if he answers. He'll either answer or he won't.
Right?
Yeah, I'm afraid to message him because he's an asshole.
Oh, he is. I told you that.
Yeah.
He is. I mean, that's why I quit. Yeah. When they say blood is thicker than water, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody tells me, look, Vicky, when you get drunk, you're an asshole, and you've got 10 kids, and out of the 10 kids, only one of them talk to you, it's time to stand up and look in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
And I just got a hold of one. Well, I didn't get a hold of Tyler. Tyler got a hold of me. Excuse me, he's transgender.
Wait. You were living with who?
No, that's one of my brother's kids that won't talk to him,
Oh.
or that he won't talk to because he is transgender, female to male.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I mean, you got 10 kids and only one of them are talking to you.
Doug has,
I get worried. I get worried when my son doesn't call me for a month. Okay, what?
Doug has 10 kids.
Yep, not all biological, but some of them are stepkids from his wife, and I can't remember her name. I remember she had bright red hair though. Um, but uh, I had talked to my cousin, or we were talking, And uh, I found out that none of the kids, I thought, I didn't think that just 1 out of 10 kids was talking to him. How the fuck possible could that be? And come to find out, it was because basically he did the same thing to them that he did to me. He'd get drunk and then he'd just, talk pure shit to everybody. Shit. Um, and he was very abusive. He was one of those drunks who was very abusive, you know.
Okay.
But
All right. So
yeah,
anyway,
now
so
my brain is in
Dawn,
a tornado. I'm trying to figure out
how does
who
Dawn
came.
kind of figure out that something's going on in the house? What gives him the inclination of thought?
This was within, as well as my brain can remember, obviously. This was within, I want to say it was within the month, and it and it may not have been that long, but it just seemed that long that she moved Bill upstairs, that she caught, that when it was finally thrown in her face and she couldn't deny it, um, not that her kids hadn't told her 4 times before, um, that she could no longer deny what the hell was going on. And Don and Dolly came by. Dolly was Don's wife,
Mm-hmm.
and Don and Dolly came by, and Don said, "Dolly, why don't you go in the kitchen and you and make a pot of coffee, and you and Sylvia can stay here, and I'll take Vicky. We'll go grocery shopping." And we didn't get. I guarantee you, we didn't get 2 blocks down the road before he pulled the car over, and he said, "What's going on in that house?" And that house is what he said. And I said nothing. And I'd never heard Don cuss before. And he said, "Bullshit, there's something wrong in that house. What's going on?" And I remember it felt like Niagara Falls was opening up, because I had told people and told people and told people what was going on in the house, and I was called a liar time and time and time and time again. And I told him everything. I told him everything about the boys, about me, about the staged crap, you know. Um, I mean, everything. Bill killing our animals, all that kind of shit. And I remember walking in behind Don, because Don was a big man. He was a Santa Claus sized man and had the same smile and all that. And Don walked in the house, and he walked up to Sylvia, and he put his finger right in her face. He said, "You got 2 choices. You can either go to the police station with us right now, and and charges will be filed against you and him, or you can go to the police station with us now and just charges against him." And they left the house, and that was when Bill never stepped foot in our house again, no matter where we were. Now, of course, Sylvia took us on. See, and that's something that gets me. You've got a man in jail, in prison, that has been convicted of raping children, and they let him have uh, what is the name of the word? What is the word? Conjugal visit with not only his wife, but with three kids. The three kids that he's accused of raping.
It was you, Jamie, and Doug that went.
Yep.
Where were the younger
That
kids?
was, I don't know. Right now, I honestly don't know. You could only take, I think it was you, I think, notice I said I think, that there was a limit to the amount of people who could go in at one time. And after that, after going on that conjugal visit, I didn't get not 1 minute sleep that night because I kept waiting for that door to open up, as you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kept waiting. Um, and that's when I left home again. I it was probably wasn't an hour after we got back to the house that I'd packed my little backpack and hit the road again. And then Sylvia, from what I found out later, was taking my cousin. Was it Robbie?
Whose kid was this?
It was Rob. It was Robbie, a cousin. That was Gerald Crumb's daughter.
So this was a maternal cousin?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The only paternal people that I ever met of Bill's were his mother and his sister.
Yeah, but the maternal cousin, but it wasn't. So it was a second or third cousin because it wasn't Doug or Patrick's.
No, okay. Maybe it was a second cousin. Who was Gerald related to? He was a Crumb. Like Granddad said, don't make me my own granddad. Sue may be able to find that out on
I'll look at the ancestry thing.
that's yeah.
All right, so anyway, let's go back. Let's get the story straight. So, Don, how did he figure what was going on? What did he see that kind of alerted him to what was going on in the house? Was it like the marks on kids, or what was it that made him suspicious of Bill?
I don't know.
So,
Other than he had a background in police,
okay,
law enforcement.
that's enough. That's enough. That's enough that I can write off of. All right. So the story about Sylvia coming home. Sylvia was where when she came home, and Doug came running out of the bedroom. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
So she was just out and she came home. Where were you guys living? Was this in Needles? Where were you living?
No, this was in Oroville.
This was in Oroville. So she comes home, and how does this go down? How does
And I know I was there because I remember seeing. I don't know where I was. I want to say I was more than likely in my room, but I can't. I can't. Why am I looking at the wall? I can't hear a word you're saying.
I just put the phone down for a second.
Oh.
My hands free.
See, there's so much that happened in that 12 to 14-year old me that, I mean, it was just like one thing right after another, after another, after another, after another.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This all couldn't have possibly occurred when you were 14.
No, it had to be between 12 and 14.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, me seeing the girl with the needle in her arm, that was before I met TJ, because I
Yeah.
was hitchhiking by myself. And to this day, Tom, I can't figure out why I'm still here, why I'm not dead. I mean, at the time that I was hitchhiking is when they had the Green River Killer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that, and then there was another one. I think it was Ted Bundy, but there was another serial killer on the West Coast too.
There was the Golden State Killer. There was a bunch of them.
Right.
The Night Stalker.
Yep.
But that was in the 80s.
Well, by the 80s, I was already involved in wrestling, so that's what saved me there. Thank God.
So
I just
let's wrap up
like.
the story about Doug, and because this is the story I kind of have to put in between you and your full-fledged hitchhiking story, and then I'll tie the hitchhiking story to you finally settling at the wall in Oregon, and then we'll get into Sandy Bar and wrestling finally. So
Okay.
story about Doug. From what you remember,
I was in the passenger seat. Sylvia was driving, and we had this big, beautiful crystal door. You know, it had the cut crystal in it, and you could see through it. And as we were walking up the steps, here comes Doug, and he swears to God it wasn't him, but I swear to God it was him. He claims it was Jamie, but I swear it was him. Of course, we're finding out my memory ain't so good either. Um, and then there's this blank spot. There's this from the minute that we saw Doug until Sylvia sending me upstairs to give Bill his dinner, and Bill reached out for me, and I dropped his dinner all over the floor and ran. There's this black spot that comes to that, and then Dawn getting Bill thrown in jail.
okay. So basically,
And
have to do this chapters, so I got to tell the story. So you told me you could see through the crystal door. So what? You pull up, you guys stop, you go in the house.
We're walking up the steps when Doug, we're literally on the steps as Doug went running past the door, and you could see through the door, and he had blood dripping down his thighs.
Okay, and then after that, you don't remember, but you do know that at that point, Sylvia banishes Bill to the upstairs.
And I remember taking him his dinner up there. Now, number one, who in their right mind doesn't kill the guy or put him in jail? Number two, who sends his victim up to give him dinner? Um, and then there's Dawn. Then there's Dawn.
Okay, we have that.
That's when Dawn, and it's very soon, short period of time. Like I said, between 12 and 14, there was so much that happened.
Well, this is where I need to get this tied down. All right, the last thing, your Uncle Doug, that story. So,
My my uncle died.
no, your Uncle Doug, yeah, the one he died in a pedestrian train accident. Do you remember when that happened?
I was with Jack.
So yeah, it was
We weren't married. We weren't married. Actually, I can find out exactly when that happened because I've got some of the paperwork.
I've got it. It was in like
It
93. I've got the obit and everything.
90. No,
Something like that. I've got it.
no, it'd have to be after 98.
I wrote it. I've got it. I've got it. I wrote
No,
it.
I know for a fact it'd have to be after
Pretty.
May of 98 because that's when I met Jack. And Jack was standing beside me when Sylvia bluntly told me over the phone that Doug was dead. And the story that I got was they had made a stop, and the three of them got off the train, including my uncle Doug. And as they got off the train, the freeway's right there. I mean, right here in front of them, and they saw this wreck. And of course, Doug goes running down there. And the common analogy was they don't know what Doug saw, but whatever he saw, it threw him into basically shock. And that he was walking back to the train, and they could see the Amtrak train coming, and they kept hollering, Doug, Doug, Doug. And he never heard him, and he got hit by the Amtrak train. It wasn't the driver's fault. Doug literally walked into the front of the train.
Oh, did you know that your grandparents filed bankruptcy?
Was that around World War II time?
Yeah, I can tell you 1 minute. Oh, I found it. I just saved your grandfather's. I got a picture of your grand. Did I send this to you? The picture of your grandfather's his booking photo.
His booking for what? For his DUI?
Yeah, yeah, 1965.
I told you he looked just like he should have been up there with Dean and Frank and Sammy, huh?
Yeah.
He had Dean Martin hair.
So the county of Spokane.
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 It's spelled Spokane, but it's pronounced Spokane.
Where's this one here?
That's where they had a paper plant, and you couldn't get anywhere. And I mean, oh my God, that thing stunk.
Your grandmother died in 1980. And
No, my grandmother died.
1980. I got it right here.
No,
Oh wait, no. Hugh died in 1980.
my grandfather died in
He
1980.
died in 1980. Yeah.
Wasn't that December 8th?
1943, May 3rd, 1940. May 5th, 1943 is when they filed bankruptcy.
Oh, that was my birthday. Of course, I wasn't there yet.
And then here's the announcement of Scott's birth right here. And that
What
was
year was that?
1968. What's his birthday? Let's see
Scott was.
see how good you are.
Was it August 31st?
30th. You're close. Yep.
Okay, because I used to get Doug and
Sorry,
Scott mixed up because Doug's birthday is August 13th.
May 26, 1999 is when your uncle died.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jack and I had been together about a year by then.
Okay, so the story about your uncle and what happened with him. Can you just roll through that quick? I know it's not your favorite one to tell, but that's where I'm at right now in the book, and I just want to make sure I got it right.
What happened between me and him?
Yeah.
I had come by the place, 14 or 15, maybe younger. Um, because I know I started hanging around. I know I started hanging around wrestling when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for sure
Mm-hmm.
because I was wrestling. But anyway, Doug Doug was my safe was one of the two safe spots I had. It was my Uncle Doug's or my grandparents, and he had actually, which he never. I should have known something was wrong because he had never offered me liquor before, and I don't even remember what kind of liquor it was. But the next thing I know, he was kissing me, and not in an uncle type way. And he carried me into the bedroom. He had sex with me. I laid there like a log, and I tried to brush it off because, like the chapter says in my book, the golden child. I mean, he was the one who did the Toys for Tots run with the bikers. Of he was on the board of Sturgis, the Sturgis run. You know, he on Thanksgiving and
He donated
Christmas.
in his obit. It said he donated a lot of his time to the Shriners Hospital for Children.
Yes.
But when he died, that's where any donations that were given at his funeral were sent to, was the Shriners.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. In fact, he hit the front page of the Portland News, because he was the first rider going to the hospital, and I didn't even realize until you said it was Shriners. And he's got this huge pink teddy bear on the back of his bike. But anyway, that happened when he started snoring. I got up, went into the living room, just kind of, I guess trying to wrap my head around what just happened. And I even tried to make an excuse for him. He was drunk. He didn't know what he was doing. Well, then we went out on his boat and it happened again. And that was the last time I ever saw Doug alive.
So you never talked to him again after that?
No, I'm lying. I saw him once at my grandmother's house. I was staying with my grandmother, and he came in, and he only had he claimed that he only had like a 2 hour layover. Um, but he didn't try to kiss me or touch me or anything, because when I left that house after what happened in the boat, I mean, there was no excuse I could make for him then. And he's really the only one I ever tried to make an excuse for, because of everything. I mean, that house, that was one of the two safe places I had, and it was no longer safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I got mean. That's when I got mean. I just something it something flipped the switch, and I was I wasn't looking for love. I it, I was out to find out what I could use a man for.
That explains a lot.
But
Yeah, the hitchhiking and living with the truckers and that. So that's kind of, I mean, I don't want to say a good segue, but it's a segue from there to there anyway.
yes, because actually that's about the time that that I started. Yeah.
You didn't
Um.
officially move into the wall until you were 16 now. That makes the timeline make a little more sense because if you were at the wall and
It.
started your waitressing and you got fired from the waitressing job and then got into wrestling at 16, that makes a lot more sense. Um,
You're right. It does.
yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So we clarified all that.
Okay. Yeah, that does make more sense because it used to be when I was, if I ran away and I went to Portland, I'd stay at Doug's, and that's why I called it a safe place, is because he wouldn't call Sylvia and tell her I was there. Or if she called him to ask him, had he seen me, she'd tell her no, and I'd be standing right beside him. Um, and that was a turning point, because I got evil. If it hadn't been for wrestling, at that point I was headed down a dark road, a really dark road. And if it hadn't been for wrestling, I don't. There's no telling if I'd even be alive today.
Well, what's good is this is the end of the shitty stuff we have to really talk about.
Right.
So we'll be moving on to Portland and all that now. And did you have a chance to call Denton?
No, hell no. And you gave me his number, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm gonna give it to you again.
Let let me see if I put it in my contacts.
Now you should have it pretty short, actually, short up our conversation. We haven't talked about
L
Thursday.
E N. Yep, I've got him. It's 936-330-3501.
Let me see.
I I can't see right now. They're damn pollen's getting to me.
Yes, 936
All right.
5501.
936-330-3501.
5501.
It Yeah, that's what I've got. It just I need to raise the height of the letters in my phone so I can see.
All right. Well, that was productive anyway. We got through a lot of stuff there. So, all right.
Yeah, they figured out some things because, like I said, there was so much that happened in my life, and now it seems like it's not 12 to 14; it's 12 to 16.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot there. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah,
These timelines
there.
are so messed up that we really have to go through and, like, kind of try and figure out. If I can get that date on when Parks went to jail from your brother, that would help. I know he knows it, but he hasn't messaged me back yet. But we'll see.
Oh, he's not going. Well, it's Sunday too. He's off, which means he's watching football or something like that and getting drunk.
No, he
Uh,
may be drunk enough to message me. We'll see. All right. All right. Well, sorry to get you emotional, but I had to get this
oh
out.
no, 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 no! You know what? The more I talk about it, the better it is for me,
Mm.
whether you realize that or not.
Well,
Because
I
it
get it
gets
right.
shit, huh?
I just want to get it right. You know what I mean? That way, you know, I'm hoping next year by the gap have it all finished. And we have something we can sell. How do you think Cosper is going to take it when he finds out?
I've got to tell him that.
We don't until it's done.
I mean, I didn't sign a contract with him.
Yeah, well, we don't have to tell him till it's finished. You know, once we finish it, you're happy with it. You know what I mean? Then you have a conversation with him, because realistically, the longer you have that book in print, the bigger a chance that somebody nabs you on the when rabbits die thing.
Right.
That's the thing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
With the whole book. Everything else, it'd be fine if that weren't there. That's
right.
But he should have known that too. It's like he didn't even edit it. It's just like he took your.
No, he didn't. The first 70 pages, that was straight from me.
Yeah.
That was literally, I had already written that and had the file, and I just sent him the file.
He didn't even it's like he didn't even edit it. He just put it out there.
Right.
He's supposed to do that. I mean, you know, I'm at this point. At first, I was making the decision that I wasn't going to clean up your quotes. I was going to put them exactly as is, and now I've been cleaning them up. They're more fluid when I clean them up a little bit, and I'm trying to leave them as perfect as possible. But sometimes the way things come out, it just doesn't make exact sense.
No, and you're even getting it straighter in my head, which, you know, that's helping me. Whether you even though it upsets me at the time, it's helping me in the long run.
Well, yeah,
because you know, when I'm trying
now.
Yeah, when I'm trying to figure out, well, you know, what did I do before this? How did I get here? Blah blah blah. You know, there's, like I said, okay, there's a black spot right here, like in between walking up the steps to the house and seeing Doug, to taking Bill his dinner in, and he was actually sleeping in what was my room, and taking Bill his dinner. There's this black spot, you know, that I don't remember what happened. I mean, I don't know if her and Bill had a fight, you know, or what.
Well, I did hear from
But
Scotty, by the way.
You did hear from who?
Scotty.
Oh.
Because I've been just trying to keep in contact with him just to see if I can get anything out of him. He he said something about me being the golden boy of the hill.
Oh, the golden. Now that's funny. I don't care who you are.
And I go,
so you're the.
I go, I just don't make promises I can't keep to anybody. That's it. And I go, even with Vicky's
Right.
book, it's like we're working on it, and you know, there's not. If it gets done, it gets done, which it will. I know I'll get it done, but I'm not going to promise you I'll get it done, because I don't make promises.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen, but I mean, my hope is to get it done for next year, so we have it done for the gathering. That's my plan. So,
right. And I got.
You get it done well before that, but
well, I told you about my friend Luke, right? That lives in Port, that I went to stay with before I came to the gathering.
Yeah.
I mean, to CAC.
Yeah.
And him and I have this bad habit of, we're both thinking along the same lines about the same thing at the same time. We haven't even talked to each other. He's been looking into going to the gathering.
Oh, all right.
So, and hopefully by then he'll have his settlement on his foot. And I told him what the rooms were. Did I tell you what Marty told me about the rooms?
Mm-mm.
They want $144 a night.
Mm.
Uh-uh. I'll figure it out. There's got to be a cheaper motel somewhere real close. But $144 a night? No, ain't going there.
Yeah. My
Um,
my 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 on my mother's side of the family, we have a timeshare in Hilton Head.
uh,
It's about an hour away from there.
it's where was it? What was the name?
It's in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Oh, Hilton Head.
Mm. It's a
Yeah.
bit of a drive, but
Yeah, it's also that's the high dollar folks who live there.
oh yeah, but the it's paid for. That's the thing. Big too.
Right. Right.
But
All right.
when we get to it,
Go.
Patriots are coming on. So
All right. Talk to you later.
all right, and I'll see you
All right.
Tuesday.
Are we?
I'm gonna drive down
Uh,
there and murder you.
all right. Is it this week, this coming week that we're not doing yoga, or is that already done? You said something on.
No,
We're still.
no, that with you and I, that's different. That was just the class. I'm starting with the class up again next Saturday.
Oh, okay. Got you. That's why
Yeah,
I needed to confirm.
nice,
All right. I'll.
nice try, Vicky.
No, it wasn't a try. That was not a try. Believe me. As bad as I'm hurting right now, that was not a try. I need to get my butt back on track again.
Yep. All right.
Um. All
Tuesday.
right. I'll see you Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
Yep. 9 o'clock. Well, 8 o'clock your time. Yep. You're right.
Yep.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know.